Hey, glad you could join me here today. As always, smash that like button now and subscribe. I know you don't know if you like it yet because I haven't said anything yet, but if I don't tell you to do it, you'll forget. All the time I watch videos and I really like them, I don't smash the like button unless I do it when they tell me to. So do it now. Today's topic is going to be fear. Let's talk about fear. I remember when I was younger and I was drinking and partying, I would have told you that I had no fear. Well, what would have been truer was if I said I don't feel the fear, because the drugs and alcohol kept me from feeling the fear. But everyone has fear. As I say many times, and you've heard me say if you watch my channel, the only difference between the hero and the coward is the hero faces his fear. The coward turns and runs away, or walks away fast, whatever the case may be. But fear is always going to be with you. It's going to be your constant companion. And fear disguises itself in many different forms. Procrastination, anger. Anger is a good one. If you find yourself getting angry, stop and ask yourself, what are you afraid of? What are you afraid of? Afraid of what people will think? Afraid of you not getting what you want? Afraid that if you get what you want, it won't be what you think it is? Afraid that you're going to lose something you have? It always boils down to fear. Fear, fear, fear. If there's a devil, it should be fear and doubt, because that has stopped more people from achieving their success than anything since the beginning of time. We're only born with two fears. They say, whoever the infamous they are, the fear of falling, which is good, keeps you from jumping off of a cliff or high places without a parachute, and the fear of loud noises. I'm not sure why we're born with the fear of loud noises, other than the fact that I suppose back in the caveman days, if the saber-toothed tiger was growling or if the elephant was storming our way, we would know to get out of the way because of the noise coming our way. Excuse me. But all these other fears are learned. They're taught to us by our parents for seemingly good reasons. Of course, you don't want to play in the street. You may get run over, so your parents keep you out of the street. Your parents don't want you to fall out of the tree, so climbing the tree, your parents may have caught you and you may have gotten in trouble for it. Although I don't see any of our snowflake generation climbing trees now. So if that's you, get out there and climb a tree. Climb up as high as you can go. Those limbs are pretty strong. They can sway in the wind and they can hold you. Think about when the, oh, but I better not tell you to climb a tree, because if you climb up there and you fall and get hurt, then they're going to try to blame me. Because we also live in the society of victims. Not you, but those other people out there who think everything is someone else's fault. But you know what my mother used to say when she would ask me why I did something, and I would say, well, Billy did it. And she would say, if Billy went and jumped in the lake, would you go jump in with him? And my smart aleck ass would think, yeah, Mom, if it was hot and I wanted to go swimming. No, but I didn't say that, of course. But you get the point. Are you going to do it just because other people do it? Or did you make a decision to do it by your own volition? Nobody forced you. Nobody twisted your arm behind your back. So you are responsible. And I have a dog growling in here. Somewhere over there. I don't know why he's growling. A chihuahua. So what are you afraid of today? What do you desire that fear is stopping you from achieving? Ask yourself that question. It's very important. And then whatever you're afraid of, do it. I'm sitting here today and I have a big tax bill to pay. It was kind of unexpected. Okay, I can piss and moan about that and think, man, when I pay that bill, I won't have any ready available cash left. Well, a little bit, but not what I like to have. You can acquire a certain feeling of security in available money, cash. not your investments, but the available cash you have to spend. But that's a false security because things like this happen. My tax bill turned out to be much more than I assumed, or how do I say, prepared for. Do I have the money to pay it? Yes, I do. Do I want to pay it? No, I don't. What am I afraid of? Well, I'm afraid if I pay it, I won't have the extra cash to do the luxury things I want to do, should I decide to do them. But if I needed to do them, I would have the cash. So no matter how much money you have, you're always going to have it distributed and invested and flowing in different directions, and you have certain money allotted for certain things. So I have to spend my ready cash, which I like to have for my pleasurable activities, on taxes which I don't want to pay. But if I weren't making a lot of money, I wouldn't have a lot of taxes to pay. Now that's another way to look at it. That helps you to get past your fear. And also, if you look back in your past when you were in situations that made you uncomfortable, extremely uncomfortable, maybe even some dangerous situations where you were afraid for your life, you somehow got through it. The mountains you had to climb over to get to where you are today are no different than the mountain that stands before you today. I heard that one last night. A woman said that. I thought that was really good. I had never heard that. So why are you afraid that you're not going to be able to climb the mountain that stands before you today, when you climbed all those other ones in the past that seemed insurmountable? Why? It's your lack of faith. It's your lack of belief in life. It's your lack of belief in yourself and your ability to overcome these obstacles, which you have overcome many times before you came here today. But yet the fear wants you to think that you're not going to make it. But you are going to make it, just as you have made it to where you are today. By getting off your ass, putting one foot in front of the other, and stepping through the fear. And what happens on the other side of fear? You achieve your desire, or something better. So don't let fear stop you today. You are much more powerful than you can imagine. Yeah, I know you've heard that before. And when you're in the crap, and you're afraid, and you're trying not to be fearful, you don't feel very powerful. But what you feel like and what you actually are two different things. Feelings change. Who you are doesn't change as far as what you are inside. I'm not talking about if you're a teacher, a lawyer, a painter, a truck driver, a president, a billionaire. It doesn't matter what your status, you're going to have to face fears. What's the difference? A millionaire and a billionaire, or just a regular, normal $40,000 a year worker? It's just the zeros. They all have problems, just with more numbers or less numbers when it comes to finances. Cash flow is a significant problem for the entrepreneur and the businessman. He may get a rush of cash for a certain amount of months, and all of a sudden things may dry up. These situations, and he may become fearful, these situations build character. They build a faith and a belief in yourself, in God if you like, in a higher power, in the universe, in divinity. I always throw that out there because I'm not sure what religion you are, what your beliefs are, or if you have any beliefs in that respect. I do believe it helps you to believe in something greater than yourself, whatever that may be for you. Call it whatever you like. If nothing else, the big I. Some people call the conscious mind, the little I, the part that's speaking to you now, that's actually taking the action. And they have the big I, the part that actually created what I'm doing right now before I ever had a conscious thought of it, if that makes sense to you. But that part of you has gotten you through everything you've been through in your life today. It got you through the fear. It did everything for you before you ever thought you made up your mind to do it. It actually made those decisions for you. When you went to sleep last night, did you have to think, well, let me see, I better get my blood regulated. Oh, let's look at that sugar level going right, and let's get them vitamins and minerals going to where they need to be, and let me see how many breaths I'm going to take, and let's get that food through the digestive system. You get the point. You didn't have to think about any of that with your conscious mind. All that is done for you. So you have a wonderful power within you that takes care of all that for you. All you have to do is put the food in your mouth, chew it up and swallow it, and enjoy the taste. That's all you have to do. Everything else is assimilated by a power greater than yourself, by something within you that has kept you safe and alive so far until right now, to this very moment. So why are you afraid, and why am I afraid about things not working out the way I want them to? Well, you really don't know if what you want is good for you. Although you have to have a desire. Desire creates an action within you. You take action on that desire. And as you strive toward these things that you desire, you grow. You grow within yourself, the experience. You form relationships. But if you don't walk through the fear, you become constricted. And constriction usually leads to depression. And we have a great epidemic of depression in the U.S. today. Because we are so comfortable, people don't want to be uncomfortable. And to step through your fear, you have to face the discomfort. And that's difficult, I understand that. Every morning I take a cold shower. And let me tell you, here in Missouri, when the temperature gets down to 0, that water is cold as hell. Well, that isn't cold as hell. Let's say cold as the Antarctica. How about that? I mean, it's so cold that I get a brain freeze in my face and other parts of my body. They say your brain is in other parts other than your head. But we won't go there. The point I'm making is it's terribly uncomfortable. But you face the discomfort the first thing in the morning, guess what? It's easier to face those uncomfortable things during the day. Like, as soon as I get off of here and I edit this video, which I just said at the beginning and the end, if I screw up during the middle, hey, I'm human. I don't cut the videos up like some people do. If they feel good about that, that's great. That works for them. Me, I'm a human being. I'm going to screw up. I don't give a shit what you think as far as that goes. But I do hope you enjoy my content. All right. I lost my train of thought. Oh, soon, when I finish this, I will sit down and write the checks out to pay Uncle Sam. I don't want to do that, but I'm going to. And as I do it, the fear will dissipate and melt away as I do it. But making yourself do it takes an act of your own volition, your own will, anything you want in life. And I'll relate it to girls because we talk a lot about relationships and dating and approaching on this, on my site. You see a girl you like, your first impression is to talk to her. Okay, that's coming from your innermost self, from the big I, not the little I. But then the little I starts thinking, well, she's probably got a boyfriend. Oh man, she's out of my league. She's probably busy. And on it goes. So you talk yourself out of doing what you were supposed to do, what you really desired, what you really wanted to do. And many times we do this, not just in the big things, but in small things. We see someone we want to talk to and we think, well, he's probably busy. Or we think about calling someone. And then I won't say we think about it. The urge or the intuitive thought comes from nowhere to call someone or to talk to someone or to talk to this girl when you see her, your first thought. Okay, that arises from within you, I believe, from the higher self. But then we use this little I, the mind. We start rationalizing all the reasons why it won't work, why we shouldn't do it, why we better leave them alone, why they wouldn't want to talk to us. That's your rational mind. And if you allow your life to be run by that, it will run it into a ditch. Now, it's got its good points. It's good for planning and figuring things out, like how to clean the house. It does have its place. But the point I'm making is your deeper mind, your intuitive, your higher self, the big I, knows what's best for you. But we try to think our way out of these things. The people who are the greatest successes, Elon Musk, do you think he's figured everything out? He gets insights and intuitive nudges and urgings, and he takes action on those things. And he's willing to make mistakes, as you have seen. He's willing to be ridiculed. He's willing for people to act like he's crazy, as have been all the great leaders, leaders and new thought people who are believing in new thought, or who change things, who got us out of the cave, who got us out of the medieval times, the dark ages. Some of them were killed for their new ideas. They were afraid, of course they were, but they stepped forward. And these people changed the course of history. Don't you want to be a person who changes the course of history, at least the history of your life? Look back in your past. Are you satisfied with your life? I had a kind of a life review the other day, somewhat like when people die, except it wasn't that dramatic. But all the things that I've been through in my life, and I've had a hell of an adventurous life. That's why I wrote a book. It wasn't because it was my idea, but people kept telling me when I speak in public, in private groups. And when I would finish speaking, many times people would tell me, you need to write a book, Mark. My gosh, your life should be a movie. But to me, it didn't seem like that because it was just my life. But after I wrote the book, and then last night or the other night, I had kind of a revelation. I got to thinking about all the things I've been through as compared to normal people, I suppose, and there are people that have been through a lot more than I have. But many people lead lives of quiet desperation. I think that's a quote from Thoreau. I've led a life of a lot of high risks. I'm surprised I'm still here. I've been in a lot of dangerous situations in my life, life-threatening situations. I've had guns pulled on me. I've been in fights where people were stabbed with knives. I've been in a foreign country. I've been robbed with guns. I've had to sneak out of foreign countries, bribe border guards, and yeah, I can go on and on about it, okay? But why do I worry about things today, or why do you worry about things today? Because regardless of maybe your life hasn't been as crazy as mine has, but you have been through situations where you didn't think things were going to work out, and they did. So the point I'm making is, when you're afraid, look back on your past. I think Terry Goggins calls it his cookie jar. When he gets in a situation like that, he reaches into the cookie jar and he thinks and remembers something that he's been through, that he got through, that maybe he was afraid to, that he couldn't get through, and he remembers that. And he uses that to help him get through the situations of today. And you can do the same thing. Regardless of how fantastic or unfantastic your life has been, you are here today. I mean, you were born, you didn't die when you were born. You've probably been sick a few times. Your body took care of you. That inner self, that higher power within you took care of you, got you through that. It healed you. You didn't have to heal yourself. Maybe you've had a broken bone. Maybe you've been cut badly and had to get stitches. Okay, the doctor fixes the wound, but God heals it, or your higher self, your inner self. There's a power in you that heals that wound. Doctor may tie it up, may stitch it up, may set the bone, but he doesn't heal it. There's something within you that does that miraculous thing. And that same miraculous power that we don't understand can get you through any situation you're going through today. But you have to step into it. You have to step through it and trust, even when it doesn't look like anything's going to work for you. You have to step through the fear. Fear is an illusion, although it seems very real. Who was it? Winston Churchill said, the only thing we have to fear is fear itself. And that's true. Fear is a destroyer. Faith is the thing that walks through the fear. Or belief, if you don't like the word faith because it connotates religion. Belief. Your belief in yourself. Your belief in your higher self. Your belief in God. Whatever you believe in, or both. That will get you through anything. But it has to be a rock-solid, firm belief. I heard something the other day, and the guy talked about affirmations. When you say an affirmation, or when you believe you're in a situation that you're not sure if you can make it through, think about the past situation that you have gotten through, as I've said. But when you go through this, why do you believe you can get through it? And that's what you think about, how you've gotten through things before. Why do you believe that you can achieve what you desire? Because you can look back on the other things that you didn't have that seemed insurmountable, and you achieved those. So if you achieve that, then why can't you achieve what you want today? And you can if you step through the fear. That's all you have to do. I'm going to stop there. If you'd like to get my help personally, you can contact me at marksinspirationalguidance.com. That's my website. Or send me an email at marksinspirationalguidance gmail.com. Check out my Instagram at marksinspiration. And that's about it, man. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you tomorrow.